Hi, I'm Cassidy, and today we're going to be talking about starting perennial seeds. Starting perennials from seed can be a lot trickier, and so oftentimes people just opt to buy plant starts from nurseries or from the catalogs even. And you can buy that, that's great, but one echinacea plant is going to be in the $15 range, where a packet of echinacea seeds is in the $3 to $6 range. So I bought a lot of echinacea seed packets, and I've got about 27 seeds per packet, and it's about anywhere from $4 to $5 per packet. So even after I get the potting soil, have my seed starting set up, and even if I don't have a great germination rate, I'm still going to save money. I would have more plants than if I had opted to buy plant starts. So the trick to starting perennials from seed is getting them to germinate. This is where cold stratification comes in. What is cold stratification? It's the process of weakening the hard outer shell of a seed so that the plant has an easier time germinating. This is particularly important for seeds that self-sow in the wild, so wildflowers, other things like that, is designed to have a cold, very harsh cold winter season where the seed is able to prepare itself, and then when the spring comes, it just germinates. We need to mimic nature, either in our own gardens, outside, or in our fridges. Winter sowing is going to get its own series of videos, but I'll just talk about it briefly here. Winter sowing is just the process of sowing your seeds outside in miniature little greenhouses. So the most common way is to take a milk jug, cut it in half, put some soil in, plant your seeds, duct tape it back together, and then pop it outside. Let it sit with snow and rain and sun and all those things. The outer shell will slowly weaken over about a 2-month span, and then we're starting to get more sun and more warmth. The seed will just be triggered to say, oh, it's time for me to germinate, and they'll germinate on their own. It's a very low maintenance, very easy way to sow seeds. You really only need a space in your backyard, which if you're going to start seeds, you have that space in your backyard anyway because you need to plant them somewhere. Most people can winter sow if you live in zones 1 through 7. Winter sowing is an amazing, cheap option, and you don't have to do any indoor sowing. You can even winter sow tomatoes and zinnias and cosmos. Like, you can winter sow almost anything if you do the timing right. Super cheap option. You get amazing germination rate with winter sowing because of that cold stratification process. So I highly recommend looking into that more and expecting more videos from us on that. Using the fridge to cold stratify, it will require you to either be able to indoor sow or direct sow. You're going to mix your seeds up with some sand, or you could do a little bit of compost or a little bit of potting soil. Mix your seeds up. You're going to place them on a paper towel that's wet, and you want to make sure the paper towel is not too wet. And then you'll put that in the fridge. We're actually going to try using some wool this season instead of a paper towel. Actually germinate on the paper towel, and you can just take tweezers and then pop them into your little pots or your little soil blocks in your indoor setup, and they'll start growing happily. I bought Powwow echinacea seeds, so I just wanted to go over that seed packet with you to sort of help you visualize what it looks like to have a perennial seed packet. On the seed packet, it says, start seeds indoors in late winter, initial temperatures of 40 degrees Fahrenheit. For 3 to 4 weeks, may increase germination rates, but not essential. Okay, so it's saying that you can start these seeds indoors, and if you were to cold stratify these seeds, it could potentially increase germination rates, but it's not essential. Alternatively, direct sow in early spring or late summer to fall. So I actually disagree with the seed packet because I have tried to start echinacea seeds a lot without cold stratification, and it has never worked. I would recommend that if you were to start this seed packet, you would either winter sow it or you'd sow it in your fridge. I think cold stratification is the way to get amazing germination rates. I highly recommend it. It's really not that much work more than starting seeds indoors. Basically, just have to check them once a week, make sure they're staying moist. It's super easy. Highly recommend that. For this, so now you've got an Eden Brothers seed packet here, and this is lavender seeds, Elegance White, and it says on here cold stratification, yes. That's so helpful. Okay, so now I know that I need to sow these seeds. It says place seeds trays in a plastic bag until germination, 21 days. This would recommend cold stratification either in your fridge or winter sowing. So now I know exactly what I need to do, and that's super helpful. Another example to help you think about this is on the seed packet, the germination rate says it's a 96% germination rate. And what that means is that of the 10 seeds I start, there's half of one essentially that won't start, which doesn't make any sense. But it's basically saying it's not a perfect germination rate. So if I wanted 10 lavender elegant snow plants, I probably need to start 15 seeds just to make sure I have maybe 14 of them germinate, but then maybe only 11 of them make it to full maturity, right? So I need to make sure maybe some don't germinate, but then also some seedlings don't make it either. So when you're planting your seeds, it's always good to start more than you think you'll need just because of germination rates. But this germination rate, 96%, is based on that you cold stratified. So you're not going to get as good of a germination rate if you don't cold stratify. So that's just helpful to realize that if it does say your germination rate, it's based on the correct method of starting the seed. And in Eden Brothers says cold stratification is the correct method. So that's helpful to realize when you're thinking about your seeds and when to start them. So that's all I have for today. Look forward to more videos. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like and subscribe.